Did you notice that even though the price changes for each way you package your frameworks, you're not necessarily teaching new frameworks at each level? You're creating the experience of how people consume and implement those frameworks, and the value goes up at each level of service.
Are you looking to build influence? Or maybe to drive more traffic? But bottom line, you want to change the game. You've come to the right place. Welcome to the Business Building Book Club. We're going to give you the tools you need to succeed, both online and in person. Brought to you by Coach Molly and 3 Pines Leadership.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Business Building Book Club. I'm your host, Coach Molly from 3 Pines Leadership, and thank you for joining me here on the show. Remember, you can find us on all of your favorite podcast platforms as well as in video format on the 3 Pines Leadership YouTube channel. Woohoo! This week, we're going to dive back into the book and get in another one of Russell Brunson's great secrets. But if you haven't already, for some crazy reason, if you haven't already picked up your copy of this season's book, Expert Secrets from Russell Brunson, the Underground Playbook for Converting Your Online Visitors into Lifelong Customers, I don't know what you're waiting for. Russell's running a fantastic promotion where you can get these books absolutely free. All you have to do is cover the cost of shipping. It's a hardcover book. It is full of great information. And why should you buy the book or why should you get a copy of the book rather than listening just here on the podcast? Well, there's a whole bunch of memory aids that he includes in the book that you're not going to get here on the podcast. I'm not going to film them. I'm not going to do that like I did in season 1. So I definitely recommend picking up the book for that reason, but also because we're going to not be covering some sections of this book in the podcast that you definitely want. He gives you literal scripts that you can follow in this book that will change your business. This book changed my business, and I'm reading it to you guys because I want it to have an impact on your businesses as well. And as he says, it's the Underground Playbook for converting your online visitors into lifelong customers. So that's what we want as digital business owners, right? We don't just want people to look at our website. Back in the day, we used to have websites that would have visitor trackers, right? That was exciting back in the day just to see people landing on your page. But it's way beyond that now. We want to actually convert people into buyers. We want them to visit our stuff, enjoy our content, consume our content, but ultimately, the only metric that matters is if you're able to convert them into paying customers, right? And we're not just selling wares, we're not just selling goods, we're changing the world with our businesses. So in order for us to actually make an impact on the world, we have to convert our visitors into lifelong buyers because we have the solution to their problem. And if you set up your business appropriately and you've done the work on the back end, you know that your solution is better than anything that's out there for your customers. That's the difference. Create the solution that meets their needs better than anyone else out there, and make sure that they know you have the best solution. That's the secret, my friends. So before we dive into today's chapter, which is more money for the same framework, I just want to remind you, a few weeks ago, we talked about frameworks and how they are so important in our business at every level of our value ladder. So remember how important frameworks are, because today we're going to talk about money with them. All right, so make sure you pick up your copy, find me on social media, let's chat and keep this conversation going. Shall we dive in? Let's do it. Secret number 5, more money for the same framework. Dang, I wish I could have bought some t-shirts. I look so stupid, I thought. It was the first business event I had ever gone to, and I wore a t-shirt, and I wore a shirt and tie thinking that that's what business people do. But after walking in, I realized I was the only one. All of the other online entrepreneurs looked so comfortable in their own skin. wearing jeans and t-shirts. Instead, I felt even more nervous because I was the introverted kid, wishing I had someone to talk to so I didn't feel so awkward, but I was too nervous to walk up to anyone and start the first conversation. After we all found our chairs, the lights went down and I felt like a huge weight was being lifted off my shoulders, knowing that no one could see me anymore as we waited for the first speaker to step on stage. I don't remember much about what he said that day, but I did write down the name of a book that I had never heard of before and he kept talking about. Think and Grow Rich. Throughout the event, I heard multiple speakers reference the book, so when I got back to my hotel room that night, the first thing I did was buy my own paperback copy on Amazon for $9.97. Within a week, it showed up at my house. I ripped open the package, pulled out the book, and looked at it, knowing that the secrets to getting rich were inside. Each night I went to bed, I would look at the book, and being tired, I would make a resolution that tomorrow I would start reading it. One day turned into 2, and then a month, and then 6 months. Each day, I felt a little more guilty, knowing that the answers to my problems were inside. I just needed to open the pages and start reading. About 6 months later, I attended my second business conference. This time, I wore jeans and t-shirts and felt much more comfortable. I sat in the room, wanting to learn the secrets to getting rich, and sure enough, within an hour of the first speaker speaking, the book was brought up again. I started to feel a twinge of guilt rush over me, knowing that it had been sitting next to my bed for almost half a year, and I still hadn't opened it. Why am I spending money traveling to events if I'm not even doing what I know I need to do to be successful? I asked myself. By that night, I had heard the words "think and grow rich" too many times to count. So when I got back to my room, I knew I needed to figure out a better way to get that book read. I jumped to my computer and searched "think and grow rich" again, but this time something else popped up. It was an ad for an audio CD of Think and Grow Rich. Yes, this was before audiobooks and Audible were a thing, so I got really excited. I clicked on the ad and it took me to an eBay listing to buy the 10 CD set for $97. I was so excited I bought it on the spot, and by the time I got home from the event, the CDs were there. I started listening to them while I was in the car driving around town, and within a week of returning from that event, I had read the entire book. I'm sharing this story with you because it taught me a very important principle. People will spend more money for the exact same content or framework packaged in a different way. Think about it. What's the difference between the book Think and Grow Rich and the audiobook? The answer is nothing. They're the same book, word for word, yet I paid 10 times more money. $9.97 for the physical copy and $97 for the CDs, for the exact same content packaged in a different way. The audio CDs made the book simpler to read, so I happily paid more for a different user experience. Understanding how to use information products to grow any company. During this chapter, you'll learn how to create information products like books, courses, seminars, mastermind groups, and coaching programs. For those of you who aren't in a traditional expert business, usually authors, speakers, coaches, and consultants, don't worry, this process is still for you. One of the big secrets to creating a new opportunity is understanding that while your product may not be a new opportunity, your framework has to be. ClickFunnels is a drag and drop website creation platform. In and of itself, it's not a new opportunity. It's an improvement offer, a better way to make a website. When we introduced our funnel frameworks, that was the new opportunity, and the software became the tool that simplified the new opportunity. Most of you reading this book do not yet have a true new opportunity. What you're selling, while it might be a better mousetrap, is just an improvement offer. That's why it's essential to create frameworks and wrap them around your core offers to make them a truly new opportunity. In this section, I'm going to show you how you can turn your frameworks into information products. For some of you, it will seem strange at first, but it will make your marketing and sales in the future so much easier. Here are a few amazing things that will happen when you start wrapping your products inside your unique frameworks. Complicated sales will become easy because the information products will indoctrinate potential customers about why they need your product or service. And 2, you will be positioned as an expert instead of a commodity, and people will pay you more for the same thing that they could get somewhere else. The other options will become irrelevant, price resistance will disappear, and future sales will become easier. Number 3, you will be able to acquire unlimited customers for free, so every back-end sale you make will result in 100% profit. And 4, you'll be able to grow much faster. Before we get too deep, I want to point out that there are 2 types of expert businesses. The tactics behind both are the same, but the strategies are a little different. Let me explain them to you so you can see which one best fits what you are trying to create. So, expert business number 1, selling information products. The first type of expert business is the one that you're probably most familiar with. It involves taking the frameworks you've learned and packaging them into information products, coaching, and consulting. Being an expert and selling information products, in my opinion, is the greatest startup in the world. You don't need venture or startup capital, just a passion for what you're teaching and a willingness to learn how to tell stories in a way that will get others excited about it. Expert business number 2 is leveraging information products as fuel. If you have a company that is selling physical products or services, that's even better because you can use these information products as fuel to grow your company quickly. As you know, my company is a software company, yet we've used information products to grow quickly. I first focused on selling my frameworks, which created desire in people to use the core product we were trying to sell. We use the information products we sell to get customers for free through break-even funnels that you learned about in .com Secrets in season number 1 of the Business Building Book Club. We also bundle information products with our software to increase the perceived value of the service. During our first year, we had more than 10,000 people pay us $1,000 for a course on how to use funnels. And bundled in that course, they got a free trial of the software. In the next chapter, we'll be going deeper into your stack slide and how you can create an offer. But understand that information products built from your frameworks is the secret to creating new opportunities and offers that are completely irresistible. So how do we actually do this? Step number 1, how to increase the value of your frameworks. Now that you understand the principle that by changing the experience and how you package your framework, you can increase the value of that framework. I want to show you how you can repackage the same framework into each step of your value ladder. The simplest way to increase the perceived value of your frameworks is to change the experience of how someone consumes it. That usually happens by moving things from one form to another. So from written word into audio, from audio into video, from video to live experiences. I see this happen every day in my business where someone will buy one of my books and then in the upsell of the funnel, we will offer them the audiobook. Later, some of them will buy a video home study course teaching the same frameworks from the books, but in much more detail. And then later, they'll come to one of our workshops or seminars and get hands-on help to implement the framework. The frameworks are the same throughout the process, but the value of what we offer goes up at every stage. The other way to increase the value of your frameworks is by changing how you fulfill on the framework. 3 different ways that you can fulfill on your framework would be do it yourself or give them the framework and implement it on their own. The second way is to do it with you, so work with them to implement your framework. And number 3 is do it for you, or you do the implementing for them. Oftentimes at the bottom of my value ladder, I will give or sell someone my frameworks, but they are responsible to learn and implement them themselves. As you move up the value ladder, I transition to working with them or doing it for them. While there could be hundreds of ways to package your frameworks, I'll share the 8 most popular ways that are used by experts in almost every industry. So the pre-funnel content, or free stuff. Your framework steps work really well as a hook or an ad that will pull people into your funnels. Usually you would just post one of your frameworks as a hook. One of my favorite couples who do this often on Instagram are Tom and Lisa Bailu. Here are examples of a few of the frameworks that they've posted on their Instagram wall. So, how to set healthy boundaries. Give yourself permission, be honest about your limits, be assertive, say what you mean what you say, don't apologize, and put you first. That's a great example. You can also teach your frameworks as pre-funnel content in YouTube videos, podcast episodes, blog posts, and more. The second level up would be a lead magnet, which is also free. You can also use your framework as a lead magnet. Oftentimes, I'll record a 2 to 20 minute video of me teaching one of my frameworks and give it to people as a lead magnet they get when they give me their email addresses. The next level up would be a book or a free plus shipping offer. You can expound and go deeper with your frameworks with a book. As you can see from this book, it's one big framework with tons of embedded frameworks inside of it. The negative thing with a book is that it's the hardest thing to create and sell for the least amount of money, but its perceived value and ability to position you in your market as an expert is one of the highest ways that you can package your frameworks. The next level up would be a membership site, or something that's $10 to $100 a month. Membership sites usually blend all the different learning modalities into one. Oftentimes there'll be written content, audio, and video training, along with an online community or a live experience for its members to network together. The big advantage of membership sites over online courses is that because they are typically billed monthly, they give you the ability to drip out your frameworks to people over time as opposed to giving everything to them at once. The next level up would be an online course, which would be $100 to $1,000. Courses are very similar to membership sites in terms of how content is put together using all the different modalities. The biggest difference is in how you bill and deliver. Courses are finite, and even if you drip the content to members, it eventually ends. Whereas with a membership site, people are paying perpetually. The next level up would be seminars or workshops at $500 to $5,000 marks. This is where you start to take your frameworks offline. I define a workshop as an event where you are spending a few days teaching your frameworks. Often these types of events are a little smaller and more intimate. My funnel hackathon events are considered workshops because I spend 3 days teaching my webinar and selling frameworks for a group of about 100 people. At seminars, there are usually a lot of different speakers teaching their own frameworks based around a topic. Our big funnel hacking live event has about 5,000 people in attendance, and there are lots of different speakers teaching their own frameworks. The next level up would be Masterminds at the $10,000 to $100,000 mark. Mastermind groups are usually smaller events that aren't focused as much on teaching new frameworks, but instead on implementing existing frameworks that the group has already learned. My inner circle mastermind groups have about 30 people in them, and each person has a chance to get in front of the group, present their business, and get personalized help from everyone else in the group on the things that they are struggling to implement from the original frameworks. The next level up would be one-on-one, things that are $10,000 or more. This is often the highest level of framework application, where people pay you to work one-on-one with them, services, or with them, coaching, implementing your processes. There's no leverage at this level as you're trading time for money, but which is why the pricing is so much higher. Did you notice that even though the price changes for each way you package your frameworks, you're not necessarily teaching new frameworks at each level? You're creating the experience of how people consume and implement those frameworks, and the value goes up at each level of service. If you look at most people's value ladders, they're simply changing how the frameworks are delivered. So step 2, how to create even more value by turning your frameworks into tools. During the gold rush in San Francisco in the mid-19th century, there was a local store owner named Sam Brannan who had a unique idea on how to capitalize on what was happening around him. He purchased all the picks, shovels, and pans that he could find and ran around the streets yelling, "There's gold in the American River!" He had paid 20 cents for each pan, and he resold for $15 a piece. When everyone around him was searching for gold, Sam became San Francisco's first millionaire by selling the tools people used to get the gold that they were looking for. There are so many powerful lessons in this story. If you look at it through the lens that you are learning here inside Expert Secrets, you'll notice that his dream customers, those who had gold fever, wanted a result to find gold. Sam provided a framework for that. Step 1, there's gold in the American River. Step 2, you need 3 tools to extract the gold: picks, shovels, and pans. Step 3, the only place to get the tools you need is at my store. He made his fortune by giving them this framework and selling them the tools they would need to get the desired result. My business is not much different. The end result I promise my customers is that they can grow their companies with sales funnels. I've compiled a bunch of frameworks that teach them how to get those results. Some I give away for free, others I sell in my books, courses, and events. Then I create software or tools that make the process I teach in the frameworks simpler. Brandon and Kaylin Poulin at Lady Boss create and sell their frameworks for weight loss, but they also sell the tools, supplements, coaching, food, and clothing to create a shortcut to success for their dream customers. How much money are you able to make in a business is a direct relationship to how simple you can make the process for your customers. The frameworks are a way to simplify the process, and you will get paid for that. Software or supplements, physical products or services are ways to simplify that process inside your frameworks even more. When you look at your frameworks, I want you to start looking at each part and asking how you can simplify that part of the process with some type of tool. Here are some of the things that I look for when I'm trying to create tools out of my frameworks. Software. The best tool you can create for your framework is software. The perceived value of software is huge, and depending on complexity, can be pretty inexpensive to create. The first product I ever created, even before my Potato Gun DVD, was a software product called Zip Brander. I had the idea for the product sketched out on a pad of paper, hired a guy in Romania, and paid him $120 to build the software. He took my sketches, did whatever programmers do, and a few days later I had something I could sell. ClickFunnels became the ultimate expression of my frameworks by building funnels and follow-up funnels. Funnel Scripts is a software we created to make the sales scripts in .com secrets and this book simple, where you can fill in the blanks and the software will pre-write your sales copy. What parts of your framework could be automated for someone if you created your own software? Initially, I didn't look for a ClickFunnels size idea. Look for smaller ones that you can get programmed for a few $100s and start there. Supplements. This will not be acceptable or applicable to all businesses, but supplements are the ultimate easy button to get a result. If something inside your framework could be sped up through supplements, they are among the most powerful ways to increase the value of your framework. Physical products. Most people who have a physical product in their community start here, and then build a results-based framework around the product. For instance, if you're selling a survival flashlight, you could build an entire framework on how to survive during a disaster, and the flashlight then becomes a tool to help inside your framework. The other way you could use this is to look at your existing frameworks and see if there's a physical product that you could create to help make your framework easier to implement. I've seen a lot of information-based companies create journals as a tool to make implementation of their frameworks easier. If you purchase this book in the box set, found at secrettrilogies.com, you can get a free copy of the Unlock the Secrets workbook. This tool was created to help people implement the frameworks taught in my 3 books, and it increases the value of the box set. Byproducts. As you have been using your own frameworks, where there are byproducts that you've had to create would be useful to your dream customers. As an example, when we started selling high-ticket products on the phone, we had to create scripts for the salespeople to use, training videos that would train our team, and we had lawyers make contracts for employees as well as our customers.
All these things were byproducts that we had to create by using our frameworks. When we later sold our high ticket secrets coaching program, we sold our frameworks training, but we were also able to bundle in all the byproducts into the offer. With your purchase, our customers got access to the scripts, training for our own salespeople, and all the contracts we had paid for. These tools became some of the most valuable parts of my offer. One of my inner circle members, Liz Benny, sells a masterclass for people who want to become social media managers. She gives away her contracts so that her students don't have to hire expensive lawyers or come up with their own. While they certainly could draft their own, and she could teach them how to do that in the training, it's more valuable to just have them already done. Basically, she's selling a byproduct of her own business. She's already created the contracts for herself, so it's no extra work to offer them to others who are learning the same process. What byproducts have you created that you could offer your customers? People want tangible assets that make the core training easier to implement. Scripts, templates, cheat sheets, checklists, timelines, and schedules are all valuable tools that you could create. Information products or services. Every tool can be used to increase the value of any offer, but it can also help move people to the next level of your value ladder. Technically, every type of information product we talked about earlier is a tool. A membership site can be a tool. Events and coaching are tools to help you better implement your frameworks. The top tiers of a value ladder have services helping people implement the frameworks that you have given them earlier. Remember, how much money your business makes is in direct relationship to how simple the process is for your dream customers to achieve their result. Creating done-for-you tools to give your customers a shortcut to success is one way to simplify that process. In the next chapter, we'll bundle your product, framework, and tools into offers that your dream customer won't be able to resist. Step number 3, turning your frameworks into an offer with the stack slide. The next step is turning all of these ideas into something that you can sell. In .com Secrets, one of the core frameworks I introduced you to is Hook, Story, Offer. We talked about why it's so important to decommoditize your business, not just selling a product like most companies, but to make it something unique by turning it into an actual offer. The goal of an offer, in its simplest form, is to increase the perceived value of what's being sold and to make the thing being sold unique to you and available only within that special offer. The simplest way to turn your product into an offer, increase the perceived value of that offer, and make it a true new opportunity is to wrap your product or service inside your framework. During that step, we are going to make what we are creating and selling very tangible so that you know exactly how you need to be packaging your frameworks and what tools you need to create for that offer. We do this by using a tool I call the stack slide. We will be using the stack slide in every story selling script that you'll be learning in section 2, 3, and 4. It's the core foundation to everything else we will be doing in this book. The first thing I do when I'm going to create a new offer is focus on the stack slide. In my stack slide, the first item is my core product, and the second item is the opportunity switch or the opportunity stack core framework that I will be giving my customers. So here's an example from ClickFunnels. In my presentations to sell ClickFunnels, my core product is access to the ClickFunnels software, and my opportunity switch core framework is my Funnel Builder Secrets online course. That's the way I decided to package my frameworks to help people learn them, but I can change the value of the offer based on how I deliver the frameworks. So for $9,997 is a 2-day live event at my office. For $1,997 is an online course. For $97 is a smaller course or an audio program. The physical product or service. So if you're selling a physical product or service, that would be your core product. So your core frameworks could be taught in whatever modality that matches how much you want to charge for that offer. Information products or events. If the core product that you're selling is a course or event, the core product and the core framework will likely be the same thing. So next, I need to figure out other things that I can add to the stack to increase the perceived value even more. Most times I will brainstorm with my team
and we'll sit in front of the whiteboard for hours talking about all the things we could potentially add to the offer. In the end, we'll decide which things the customer will actually get when they decide to buy, and those things end up on the stack slide. I usually start on the left-hand side and brainstorm the different information products we could potentially create. So written word. Should we write a book or an ebook? Audio. Should we make an audio program? Video. Should we make a membership site? Would it be better to make an online course? Live experience. Should we create a seminar or workshop, or could this be better as a mastermind group or one-on-one? Then we talk about what each of those would look like if we built them. What would be in the membership site? What modules do I need to record? Or if we decide to do an event, where would we host it? What other ways could we serve our customers with our frameworks? Traditionally, I want only 1 or 2 information products inside the stack. Having too much information can decrease the perceived value of an offer because it may seem like too much work. Oftentimes, the only information product I include in my stack is the actual opportunity switch or the opportunity stack core framework. When we move to the right-hand side of the image and brainstorm tools we could create, because tools often have a higher perceived value, I like to focus my stack on as many of these as possible. Is there software we could create to make part of our framework easier? Could we bundle supplements into this offer? What physical products could we create to increase this offer's value? What are the byproducts we've created during the implementation of these frameworks that have cost us time or money? Could any of them be passed on to our customers? Are there other information products or services we could bundle? In Section 3, you will learn that there are 3 reasons why people don't buy from you. We'll go into that much greater detail, but about them when we get back to this section of the book, but I want to bring them up now because I will try to make things inside my stack that will help break those core false beliefs. So the first false belief, I don't believe in this vehicle or your new opportunity is the right vehicle for me. What false beliefs do your customers have about the vehicle or new opportunity you're presenting to them? What would keep them from believing that this vehicle is right for them? What tangible thing can you create to help them change their belief? I love creating case studies or examples to include as a bonus. If I were creating a product about flipping houses on eBay, I would go and find 20 or 30 examples of me doing this process or several case studies of my students having success with it. I'd put them together in a case study booklet or a video training that people could watch or read as proof that the vehicle works and to provide better insight about how others are doing it. The more belief in the new opportunity I can create, the more likely others will be able to achieve the same result. False belief number 2. I believe that this is the right vehicle for some people, but I don't think that I would be successful with it. Once they believe in the vehicle, what beliefs do they have about themselves that make them think that they can't succeed? For example, someone in your beta group might say, "That's cool, but I don't really know how to blank," or "I can't blank." They might believe in the new vehicle, but they don't believe in themselves. So you need to create something specific to help them overcome these false beliefs about themselves. Maybe they think they're not technically inclined. What can you create to show them how to hire the right people? Maybe they believe that they've never been able to stick to a diet. What tangible asset can you create that will help them overcome this internal struggle? Sometimes this element will be a specific training that goes beyond what's in the masterclass. It could be tangible tools or templates that will give them the confidence to realize that they can truly do it. One of my best-selling offers, Funnel Builder Secrets, taught people how to build funnels. While it was easy to get people to believe that funnels were the future, they often didn't believe that they could build a successful sales funnel on their own. I discovered that one of the biggest fears was writing the copy for the funnel pages. So for this element, I gave people my copywriting course along with my templates and swipe files so that they could easily complete that part of the process. False belief number 3. I believe that I could have success, but I have an external force holding me back from success. This is usually the last thing holding people back from getting results. They believe that the vehicle is right. They believe that they can do it, but there is still some outside force that might make it difficult for them to succeed. The outside force might be a bad economy, a lack of time, or something else outside of their direct control. For my funnel hacks offer, getting traffic was the big external struggle everyone had. They believed in the vehicle, they believed in themselves, but they had fears that no one would ever click into their funnels. So we created a video course showing them how to drive traffic into their funnels. For your opportunity, think about what outside things might possibly keep people from success. Then create something to help eliminate or minimize that excuse. Every item on the stack slide has a value attached to it. The goal is to show that you're giving 10 times as much value as you're asking for in price. If you're selling a $97 product, you want the stack slide to add up to at least $997, preferably more. If you're selling a product for $997, then the value needs to be at least $9,997. If your value isn't 10 times higher than your price, then it's time to go back to the drawing board and figure out other ways that you can package your frameworks or make new tools that will increase the value of what you're offering. Learning how to create offers and build stack slides is one of the most important things that you can learn to do in this business. This is not a one-time activity. Every time you have a new offer, you will go through this exercise again. Each step in the value ladder will have a different offer and stack slide. As a fellow funnel hacker, I would recommend watching people in as many markets as you can as they launch their offers. See what things they include in their offers, and you'll get ideas for different ways that you can package your frameworks. And with that, my friends, let's close the book on this chapter and this secret. Join me next week for a fantastic conversation with one of my favorite funnel hackers who is using these secrets and these concepts in her own business. Thank you guys so much for joining me for this episode. Remember to get your free copy of Expert Secrets. The links are in the description box below or in the show notes if you're listening on your favorite podcast platform. Connect with me on social media. I'm Coach Molly with an E on Twitter, 3 Pines Leadership on most other platforms. Again, I love you guys from the bottom of my heart. I will see you again next episode, and until then, be excellent to each other. Bye for now.